Hello everyone, welcome to the online lecture series of Vehicle Testing and Homologation. I am Milan Trivedi, professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. This is our 16th lecture in our online lecture series of VTH, and from the 15th lecture we are discussing about the chapter 6 of VTH, that is Vehicle Testing on Chassis Dynamometer. In the last lecture we had seen how we perform the experiment on the chassis dynamometer, what is the use of chassis dynamometer and its type, that is it is used for two-wheeler and the four-wheeler in a different way. That topic we had covered in the last lecture. Now let us proceed further with the sixth chapter. Now apart from the testing on chassis dynamometer, in this chapter some of the wheel balancing, wheel alignment related topic is also been included. So in today's lecture we are going to discuss about wheel balancing, wheel alignment, and a similar kind of test you might have heard about it, that is a side slip test. So we are going to cover about that three particular tests in upcoming lecture. Let's begin. So first we start our discussion with the wheel balancing. Whenever we talk about wheel balancing, we mean that there is a proper balance of weight in the rim of the wheel and the tire portion. If that weight distribution is proper, then we are calling it as a balanced wheel. And if it is not there, then it might have a not proper rotation or oblong movement. So in such condition, we will call wheel as a in imbalance state, right? Now let's have a look towards the different reasons of development of wheel imbalance. The prime reason of getting wheel imbalanced is the wear condition. If the tire is unevenly weared out, then it is causing the imbalance in the wheel. Sometimes it might happen due to the excessive running of the vehicle. If we run the vehicle for a longer time duration without balancing, then the tire will worn out, and that also result out into the wheel imbalance. This might happen due to the even running the vehicle in some off-road condition for a longer time duration. Then also tire will worn out faster and can result out into the imbalance of the wheel. Another aspect is the tire weight falling off. Now, periodically, we need to go for the wheel balancing. Suppose right now I am going for wheel balancing, so some of the mass would be attached in the rim portion of the wheel, but after some time duration of usage, that attached mass if fall off, right, then again it is causing the wheel imbalance, right? So second cause can be the falling of the prior weight which was attached. The third condition is the unusual wear pattern. This is found in some of the cases in the tire segment. If we are not going for the timely tire rotation, then it can lead to the formation of uneven wear. And if uneven wear is there, obviously that will be having a huge effect on the mass of the wheel, so that it can result into the development of imbalance in the wheel. Another aspect is the crap like mud deposited on the wheel. If some of the mud particle or some even heavy object gets stuck inside the tread of the tire, then also it can result out into the formation of the wheel imbalancing. But this can be easily removed. The major concern can be due to the reduction in rim weight, but last point can easily be eliminated by easily cleaning that particular rim section. So these were the different reasons of wheel imbalancing. Now let us have a look towards what we can achieve by doing properly wheel balancing. First of all, we can get is the evenly distribution of the weight of wheel and the tire. Obviously the weight of the wheel and tire is getting unevenly distributed. That's why we need to go for the wheel balancing. Suppose we are adding the more weight and proper weight in a proper location, then definitely it will have proper weight distribution in the wheel and tire. Second, it ensures the wheel rotation in a perfect way. Obviously, if some mass is rotating right now in this circular pattern, some more extra weight at some point would be there, then obviously due to the centrifugal force and due to the effect of that mass, wheel will try to have an oblong movement instead of proper rotation. So on having a proper balanced weight, we ensure the wheel rotation in a perfect way. The third thing we can achieve is the wheel spin without causing vibration. Believe me, if there is a problem with the wheel imbalance, the weirdest part we are feeling is in the steering pad, right? It is causing a lot of vibration. If there is a vibration, there is a problem in the wheel imbalance. All the vibrations which is getting generated due to the imbalance in the wheel is being transmitted to the steering pad. So the third thing we can achieve is the wheel spin without causing vibration. And the fourth that matters the most, that is the attentive part and the safe driving. If you are feeling any discomfort at the steering pad level, then obviously your attention would be totally drawn into that particular part. You would be less attentive while driving. And that can even lead to certain kind of accident even. So the fourth aspect and the most important one is the attentiveness, and the safe driving condition can be achieved with the help of proper balancing in the wheel. Now let us have a look at which are the different states of the balancing. First of all, we need to understand its type. We are having two different type of balancing, that is static balancing and another is dynamic balancing. Now let's begin with the understanding of static balancing. It is very easy to understand this particular topic, but static balancing is said when the axis of rotation is not changing. When CG and axis of rotation is remaining same, then that state is called as a static balancing state, right? As well as how to identify that our wheel is statically imbalanced. This is important to understand, that how to identify that wheel is properly imbalanced statically, right? See, if there is some uneven distribution of mass at only one point of the wheel, right? Then what will happen due to that reduction of mass at one point, instead of moving wheel in a proper circular way, it will be having a elliptical type of movement, right? But this kind of imbalance is very easy to remove. You just need to add another weight to the opposite direction of the imbalanced point. Okay, so this is very easy to remove. But in which particular wheel this kind of things happen? Only in those wheel which is having width less than 4 inch. If it is greater than 4 inch, always there is a state of dynamic balance imbalancing, right? In our car also we are going for the dynamic balancing only, right? Because the width of the tire is large, right? So we are not facing problem of only static imbalance, right? If static imbalance is there, then it is easy to remove by just adding opposite mass on the opposite direction of imbalance. And if it is there, how to identify? Just to by looking that it is having a elliptical movement. Right? Now, second one is a dynamic imbalance. Dynamic imbalance will may have this oblong movement. Apart from that, when we take a side view of the wheel, then you will notice that there is a uneven distribution of mass at different section, right? Not only at one place, but at many number of places it has a uneven distribution of mass that is causing the wheel to have an elliptical movement, as well as it will produce the wobbling, and that can lead to the huge amount of vibration, and that particular vibration you will feel across your steering pad, right? So it is very much a desire to remove this particular imbalance in the wheel. Now let us understand how to remove that particular imbalance which is produced inside this wheel. First of all, we are having this kind of wheel balancing unit in which you actually need to attach the wheel. How you can attach, I am going to discuss right now. This particular way, we can go ahead. While attaching the wheel, we need to be asked for three different data. The first thing is the offset. Offset is actually the distance which is measured from the balancer to the inner plane of the wheel rim. The second is the width of the wheel at the rim flange, measured with the help of calipers. from by the means of caliper, we can simply measure the width and the diameter of the wheel that may be indicated on the tire part. So this three data would be required in order to balance the wheel on the wheel balancer unit. By entering that particular data, later on you need to spin the wheel. That is one provision on the setup. By pressing that particular button, will start spinning. Now, after a certain number of turns, it will get stopped at one particular location, right? Now, on that particular location, if it is stopping again and again at only that one particular location only, then it is a case of static imbalance only, right? But every time after every spin it is stopping at different location, then it is a case of a dynamic imbalance. Then you need to put certain weight over the rim section. The wheel balancer unit will directly indicate the position also and the placement also, that on which particular section the weight is required to be put on, either on the inner side or on the outer section. And the amount of weight which is required to be put, that will also be indicated on the screen. By putting that particular weight, again you need to have a rotation, right? Once it will start showing 0 0, at that time your wheel is dynamically balanced, right? Otherwise you need to go for the same procedure again and again. Say for example, this time it is showing 20 40 inner outer section. Later on you go for one spin and it stopped at certain location and it is showing 10 20, right? Then again you need to add that weight. Again you need to go for the rotation, right? So in this way, you need to have that state in which you have a reading of 0 0. At that time, the wheel is said to be dynamically balanced, right? So that was all about the wheel balancing part. Once we perform the wheel balancing, we need to go for the wheel alignment. Now let us understand how to get the idea that wheel is misaligned. In the easiest way to judge that wheel is misaligned, the thing you can measure is the off tracking of the vehicle. Whenever you are traveling straight ahead, it will try to deviate either on the left side or on the right side. Then it is said to be in the misaligned condition. Some of the reason of getting the wheel misaligned is due to the sudden heavy impact which vehicle may have faced. If it had overcome certain accident, there may be some impact which has been transmitted to that wheel part, and that is actually resulting out into the wheel misalignment. Second is due to the worn parts caused by wear and tear. As our entire automobile is subjected to moving and the transmission of lot of mechanical forces, obviously the chances of wear and tear is high, and this wear and tear can lead to the worn out condition. And this parts is not been timely replaced or maintained, then it can lead to the wheel misalignment. Another, if vehicle has been traveled in the potholes type of surfaces for a longer period of time, then also it can result out into the formation of misalignment. Next is the height modification. See, if you are going for the modification of the vehicle height, then as per the height you need to make modification in the suspension geometry as well. But if you are not doing that, then it can lead to the formation of misalignment in the wheel. Now let us understand that which are the different symptoms which is felt while the misalignment. First thing is the tire worn out very abnormally, and if that worn out is there, then it can lead to even formation of wheel imbalance also, right? Then car will drift to one side. That is the easiest judgment to take. If you are traveling straight ahead also, then also it will deviate either on left or on the right section. Then steering wheel does not return easily after a turn. If you are taking a turn, then when you are just releasing that steering pad, wheel will try to come in its natural state by its own. But if it's not returning, then also it is a sign of the formation of misalignment. Fourth, that again it will be having a vibration at the steering pad, as well as you will hear one kind of noise that is called as a squeaky noise coming out from the tire surface. So these are the certain symptoms you may face which give you judgment that the wheel alignment is required. Now, what to do for the alignment of the wheel? Generally, we need to set this particular three angles in order to have a wheel alignment. The first one is a toe, second one is camber, and third one is the caster. If we take the top view, T stands and the first letter of top that are similar. Just in that way you can remember, when we talk about toe, we are talking about top view. When we take the top view, the outward edges of the wheel is out of the vehicle, then it is said toe out, and if it is portraying inward, then it is called as a toe in. This you need to set by adjusting the lower arm. With the help of spanner, you can set this toe. Second, you need to adjust is the camber. If you take the front view of the wheel, then from the center axis of the wheel, if the wheel axis is towards inner surface, it is considered as negative, and if it is from towards outward surface, then it is considered as a positive camber. This side it is positive camber, and on the opposite we are having this negative camber. This should be also in the proper range or designed range of the vehicle. By adjusting the kingpin inclination, you can have this proper adjustment. Another is the caster. We are having two different conditions. Suppose if we take the side view, then from the central axis to the kingpin inclination axis towards left, then it is negative, and if it is towards right, then it is called as a caster, positive caster, right? You need to have these angles in a proper way in order to have a wheel in a aligned condition. See, if you need to adjust toe, you can have adjustment towards this tie rod. For camber and caster, from adjusting towards lower arm, you can have a proper adjustment. To have the to check the type of misalignment, we are having this wheel alignment tester. This will be having a sensors which judge the how much misalignment is present. That will be indicated on the screen. That will give you the indication how much adjustment is required, and on adjusting that particular angles, you can achieve proper alignment of the wheel, right? So that's all about the wheel alignment, wheel balancing. We will still continue in the next lecture. Thanks for watching.